health equity and health disparities.
Your excuse another banger, you know.
I love my daddy. I love them both. I love my family. I love some money. Health is wealth. 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 Wealth, wealth, wealth. Keep on going. Wealth, wealth, wealth. Keep on going. Wealth, wealth, wealth. Keep on going. Wealth, wealth, wealth. Keep on going.
Health is wealth. Don't get on the shelf. Gonna take care of your life, not twice. Gonna live as long, live strong. Gotta take care of your health. Gotta take it like it is your wealth. You gotta know, you gotta show. Everything is not about that dough. That's why I became a wellness warrior. To see the things that I can instill in her. To let her know about her growth. To take care of body and being though.
Health is wealth. 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 Health is wealth.
Me levanto bien temprano y me voy pa'l gym. Vamos pa' la escuela, te hace money print. Habla bien healthy, I'm a youngkin'. Ando trabajando, that's my thing. Una casa pa' mami, un carro pa' papi. Hay que estudiar, nada de eso viene de gratis. Tengo computadora, los libros y los lápiz. Y la salud que a mí me mantiene happy, yeah. I eat right because life's too short. Pick up some fresh fruit, put down that Newport. Get some fresh air, walk down the street, get some sunlight, that vitamin D. Health is wealth, now say it with me. Take care of yourself, that is the key. Get that book, take it off the shelf. We all love you, now love yourself. It's all up to you, not no one else. Now hear me now, health is wealth. And you know, major head to hell. Major head to hell. Major head to hell.
Health and wealth, so I gotta protect myself, and you can never neglect yourself. Money can never buy your health. Money can never buy you time. Just eat right and exercise, sleep good and keep good vibes. Don't stress and live your life.
Health is wealth. 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 Health is wealth.
If you look at the numbers, we down before our time, much early. It's very important to get the annual checkup, all vaccines, and don't play with our health. Educate ourselves before we make decisions regarding our health. It's a big difference between knowing and not knowing. Wellness warriors.
Wellness warriors. You have just heard the debut of the soundtrack of the Wellness Warriors. Welcome to our workshop tonight. I'm Dr. Stephen Thomas, professor in the Department of Health Policy and Management at the University of Maryland School of Public Health, where I direct the Maryland Center for Health Equity. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to introduce you to the front line in the battle on COVID. And you know what? We have come through this journey together over the past 3 years, and I think we've come out stronger. We want you to learn more about what we're doing and sign up for our newsletter, where you can get information not only on this show, but on the other shows that we do, The Cutting Edge every other Thursday live. And we have a newsletter that comes out every week. I am just beside myself because I think really tonight is, for me, a love letter to the clinical partners. We really transformed how we deliver healthcare. And if you can deliver a life-saving vaccine in a barbershop or a beauty salon, then why can't we do a lot of the other things that can prevent the diseases that we now know are killing us before our time. So I love that jingle. Health is wealth, and now you're going to find out how to get it and keep it. I'm going to be the moderator for you tonight as we move, as I introduce you to some of the wellness warriors who have been involved in transforming their barbershops and beauty salons into trusted information centers where the community can come to a location where they already have trust and learn more about how to take care of their own health. They call themselves the Wellness Warriors. And so let me bring up the first panel. While we're doing that, I want to also really thank the team behind the scenes that is helping to make all of this work smoothly. And so we're going to set the stage for our first panel with a short video clip. Roll video. Welcome to Shots at the Shop, and today we're at Katrina's Trey Shades Hair Studio in Capitol Heights, Maryland, which has been amazing.
My favorite part is saving lives, seeing people get vaccinated, because a lot of people are hesitant to get vaccinated. So if I can advocate and encourage them, I'm excited to do so.
A lot of people just don't trust the system. So we have to take the time to answer their questions. And what better place to do that than in a place they already trust?
They can dispel some myths and misinformation that's out there, and then they can refer them to others with, more specific questions.
I've honestly seen about 25 to 30 of my clients go from, no, I'm not getting that vaccine, to sure, I'll get vaccinated or show up at your clinic on Monday.
I got my vaccination.
Well, I was comfortable with coming here. I actually feel comfortable here than I would at a normal clinic.
I like it because I know this place is not like it's not strange or anything.
You truly are, barbers and stylists, a trusted voice in the community, and we want to tap into your expertise and be a good community partner.
It's just for us to be knowledgeable in these health disparities so that we can have conversations behind our chair, because I believe that we're more than just a hairstylist. We're touching people just like doctors and nurses do.
Any barbershop that wants to hold a vaccine clinic in their place of business will find you a clinical partner.
So we can bring in all the clinical expertise.
I say just do it. Just work on saving lives, keep advocating for the community, bringing more people in, and I do believe that having a vaccine clinic at a salon is well worth it.
It worked here at Trey Shades, and it could work in your barbershop or beauty salon as well.
Yes, son, you're fully vaccinated. It was a great day. Awesome.
Well, I am telling you, that is such a wonderful look back at Katrina Randolph, the short-haired queen out of Capitol Heights, yes, Maryland. And Dynamite Brown, you're going to hear from him on this panel. And ever ready Freddie Spry. This is where it all began here in the state of Maryland. So let's bring them up on the stage. Hey, Warriors, how you doing this evening?
Hello there, Dr. T.
That was really a nice little clip. We're going to start with you, Katrina. Just a little bit about what it was like looking back at that beginning. In fact, that was the very first time that we gave vaccines to children ages 12 and up. That was at your salon. And
yeah.
Those grandmothers came. Remember those grandmothers came?
85 years old.
Tell us
It
your
was
story.
amazing. It was amazing to host a vaccine clinic within a salon for children ages 12 through 18, because I realized during the pandemic, these children were searching on social media because they were in the house isolated. So I wanted to give them a safe space to be amongst their peers, to come and be vaccinated in a place where they was familiar. And can I tell you, our clinical partner, Luminous Health, came in. They set up an amazing clinic. They made these children feel very comfortable. They answered any questions they may have had, and they allowed them to leave with literature to come back and get their booster shots. And they were so excited. They were waiting to get home to be able to advocate for some of their friends to be vaccinated so they can all come back together and be able to commune with one another once again. So that was an amazing clinic.
Well, when the person said, I'd rather come here than to go to a regular clinic, I thought that was an eye opener. And the young lady who said, I feel more comfortable here. It's not a scary place. That really hit it home for me.
Yes, that's what makes us unique and sets us apart as barbers and stylists, because we are the trusted voices in our community, and we are in a space where they frequent more than they frequent their doctor's office. So why not come to a place and be vaccinated where you trust?
Well, I also heard some music, and it looked like you were feeding people too. That didn't look like going to the hospital with me.
Now, Dr. Thomas, you know how we set the tone when we do community engagement. We wanted to feel like it's a gathering, it's a party, it's a picnic. So we always have plenty of music, food, and plenty of fun and incentives for whatever health disparity we're celebrating on that date.
Well, we're going to open this up after we hear from your two colleagues here. I'm going to start with Dynamite Brown.
Hey, Dr. T.
What was it, about 12 years ago, I walked into your shop?
Absolutely. It was right off of the main campus of Brown University. And when he first introduced himself to me, he told me who he was and the disparities that he was trying to challenge in the barbershops. And he told me that I was overlooking a very strong strength that I have. And I was like, I'm coming to work on time. I'm cutting these people. What could he be talking about? He was like, it's the trust and the relationship that you have with your clients. And I was like, aha, that's like a bell went off. And at the time when he came to me about the disparity, he was tackling it was colorectal cancer. And that's kind of close to me because I lost my father to a similar cancer of that. He had the colon cancer. This kept coming back until it turned into pancreatitis, and that's what took him out. So just to be able to take a swing back at cancer from my platform behind the chair, I was all in. And 12 years later, here we are now.
Did you ever imagine that we'd have an actual public health pandemic and would turn your shop into, tell them what happened at the shop.
Well, we were the first shop in the state of Maryland, well, I think across the nation, to turn their barbershop into a vaccine clinic during the pandemic, especially in a zip code that was literally saying, hell no, we're not taking the shot over our dead body. But as we continue to advocate health from behind the chair and talking to them one by one, some people came off of the wall and was interested to know, so they can have a more informed decision rather than just saying no because grandma told them, or somebody saying that, like I was standing outside talking to a client and the planes were flying over and you could see the jet sprays and look at them, they're spraying COVID now. So, you got to fight stuff like that every day. So, that's welcome to the front lines.
Welcome to the front lines is right. And you did it with a smile. And, just like people that you've been, have been your clients and follow you where you go. That's what I did. When you left the shop on Baltimore Avenue in College Park, I followed you to Hyattsville, Ground Zero. And the owner, I said, we work with owner operators. The Hair Network, Health Advocates in Reach and Research, works with owner operators. And you introduced me to Fred Spry, and the rest is history. Hey, Freddie, how you doing? You got to unmute yourself, brother.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. T. Good evening, everyone.
Well, let me commend you on the song. What a great song that we opened with.
Thank you.
When you think about where we started, where we are right now, what pops for you, Fred?
Well, it's like deja vu when hear Mike speak about it and everything. I remember the first workshop we worked, that was in like 2010 or 11, and we did it at that big church, and we was there all day, and we was dealing with so many things. I would have never thought that this would have blew up so big like it is right now. And everyone is on board, like all the clients, everyone to the point now they're asking about it. They want to know what's going on with your next workshop. I want to invite people down. They don't want to listen to me, so I want to invite them down. When y'all gonna do it again? Give me some literature. So now it's like it's ticking off, and it's like everyone is in tune, and it just feels good to be a part of it.
Well, Fred, you reminded me of that workshop we did. It was at the large Methodist church.
Right by PG Plaza.
That's right, by Prince George's Plaza, and they were serving the needs of the homeless. Okay.
Yes.
And I went to Fred. I said, Fred, can you go remote? Can you bring your barbershop on site? He set it up on a stage. We cut people's hair and listened to their stories.
And it was an amazing day. We met so many people, and so many people got in tune with the help from that day forth.
Now, you've been doing that ever since behind your chair.
Yes, because it motivated me so much, because, you know, it's funny, every different category we've touched, God seemed like he just brought it right down spotlight. For example, we did the flu, and then I lost one of my best of friends to the flu, remember?
Yeah.
And then we started doing with the cancer. Then I found out one of the other barbers ended up having, you know, what you call it, cancer from the, what's another pill from, you know, what men get all the time.
Prostate
cancer. So it was just so many things. It's like every time we got involved, it's like it was touching so close to home. And I was seeing like it was such a need. And so it made me more motivated to be a part of it. You know, it was like, it became like so personal. I started reaching out to people individually, and it just started getting bigger and bigger, and now we're here.
You know, you reminded me, in 2019, we did the very first national conference of barbers and stylists, and we titled it, "What Barbers and Stylists Say to Scientists: No Research on Us Without Us." That was the name of the conference.
Yes.
And they came from all over the country. That's when you first met Mayor Neal.
That's right.
Tuskegee, Alabama, remember?
Yes, indeed. I remember that, like yesterday.
And at that event, we honored one of your barbers, Fred. Remember?
Tony Countess. Yes, indeed. Tony Countess. Anthony Countess been with us for so many years. Oh man, that took a lot out of us. I mean, all of us, you, all of us, and Mike, everybody. I mean, we were so tight. We worked together every day, and we did so many hours together. And he was on board finally too, because you know he was one of those guys. If it was COVID around, he probably would have been on the hell no wall. But he was, you know, before this. But you know, now it's like he got so involved right before he passed on dealing with health. It was amazing to see the transition before he left. You know, rest in peace, Tony.
And we have honored him with a certificate. His wife accepted. That's 2019. Then the pandemic hit. And our efforts to go forward changed dramatically. And I would never have imagined it would have led us to this moment where we truly have now a national network. And I want to commend you, because you three are the pillars of that network. And the audience tonight is going to meet some of all the friends that you've gathered. You call yourselves the Wellness Warriors. Well, they've gathered a band of warriors. And so I really, really like what you're doing to tell the story. And there may be, for your first workshop, a story that you want directly to go to these clinical partners who are out in the audience. This is our love letter to you. And it may be something that you saw, something that still sticks with you now. But as we get ready to transition, I want to give each of you an opportunity to talk to those clinical partners. Do we still need them?
Yes, indeed. We need you. We need you.
Absolutely.
So let me do this. I'm gonna start with Fred. I'm gonna go in reverse order. Fred,
okay.
What is it you want to know?
First and foremost, let me just say thank you to everyone who has helped us in the past. I mean, it was impossible to make these events take place. They were so positive. They were so big to our communities, because our communities need it. The disparities when it comes to health in our communities is epic. And the reason why it's so big is that our people don't trust. We're not conventional people. We're people that, you know, we go with our hearts and we go with what our ancestors told us. And a lot of our ancestors did not trust the health officials and everything was going on. A lot of people have so many things incorrect when it comes to like the Tuskegee and the syphilis and the whole line. People think things totally opposite than what it was. Instead of checking out and finding out what it really was about, a lot of people feel that they were given syphilis. And for that one reason, a lot of people did not want to have anything to do with doctors. They didn't trust them when it comes to viruses and vaccinations. They was like, don't ask me about it, I don't want to hear about it, they want to do with it. So when you guys came and fulfilled the parts of giving like vaccines, and you came and you did, you know, blood pressure checking, and you there to give us literature and there to back us up from one to continuous infinity, I want to say thank you and let you know that it's impossible, and it's impossible to do without you. We need you. You guys are like the cheese on a pizza. You can't make pizza without cheese.
Thank you, Freddie. I'm gonna go to Katrina next.
I just want to say to all our clinical partners that's on the Zoom tonight, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time out your busy schedules to join our Zoom tonight. Our network has truly evolved over the 10 years that I've been within this network. And now we have a new component of Wellness Warriors, which consists of another 20 barbershops and salons within this network. And in order for us to continue our effort to promote health equity within our salon spaces, we truly, truly need the clinical partners to come alongside of us to help bridge the gap between communities, health equity, and our client base. So once again, I want to thank you for coming alongside of us and supported us this far. And remember, we cannot continue our efforts without you. So once again, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Katrina. Dynamite Brown, what do you want them to know?
Clinical Partners, I just want to thank you guys for being a part of our journey in the pandemic when everything, we didn't know what to do next. You guys were here. You guys made it happen. And I just want to paint this picture for you right here. Basketball is one of my favorite sports. Through the pandemic, well, before we started, without you guys, to say like we had a basketball game, nobody came to the court. When the pandemic came, we built momentum. We started packing the stadium. Now we have Game 7. We have the community. We have the Wellness Warriors fighting. And we're ready to play the championship game of basketball. And we don't have the basketball. You guys are the basketball. So if you come to the game and play, we can all enjoy the game and watch it win, and whoever's going to win. So you guys are the basketball in this game, and we can't play without you. We need you to dribble. So that's basically what I'm saying. We need you guys. We need you guys to play. Thank you.
I got a snap for all three of you, because the analogies is one of the lessons I take away. As I listen to you talk to your clients, you adjust to the client's level of understanding, level of relationship. Sometimes you're talking in parables and they get it. That's the point. And the ability to translate the science of medicine and public health into parables or into other forms that people understand and can act on, that's saving lives. So I want the audience out there to know that the initiative they're working on right now has to do with preventing type 2 diabetes. And I want all of that audience out there to know that all three of you are certified community health workers by the state of Maryland. I want to applaud you. Thank you. And I'm going to ask the team to cue up the origin story of how we got started here in Maryland as we then get ready for the next panel. Love you, brothers and sisters. Thank you so very much. Here we go. Roll tape. We know now more than we've ever known about actually how to prevent disease. And yet we have segments of our community, particularly African Americans and Latinos, dying before their time. So the message, the science of medicine and public health has not reached everyone. And that's why it's so exciting to finally have a corporate partner that recognizes that business as usual is not working, and that they're willing to do something innovative and different. Ladies and gentlemen, just so we can have your attention just for a moment. We're really excited to be here to announce our special initiative.
That is our Health Advocates in Reach and Research Initiative. That brings us to the shop here in Hyattsville to actually launch a health campaign around colorectal cancer screening.
When we've looked at data for health disparities for the last 20 years, people have been talking about it, measuring about it, putting out pilots, and really that gap has stayed the same for 20 years. So whatever the message and the intent was, it wasn't getting out. And what we realized is that for us to really improve health and to close that gap in health disparities, we needed to try a different approach and try a new channel of communication.
We're so happy that Cigna Foundation is really supporting this, and they believe in our concept. They believe that we can make a difference, that barbershops who are in the community, who are part of the community, can be part of the solution.
We are very passionate about improving the health of the communities in which we live and serve. So this initiative with University of Maryland is designed to reach individuals where they can get the information more readily and in an environment that is not threatening and trusted.
We've been working together for the past 2 years, setting the stage for this moment right now.
Everyone comes to the barbershop. We have lawyers, doctors, senators, executives, trashmen, guys who work at, at Safeway and things of that nature. You have all different levels of, of people working and work fields. Many of us, especially in our Black community, are missing a lot of information to stay healthy. And a lot of us are actually dying from things that could be prevented. They're going to train us, and we're going to train the community, one by one, in the chair.
The barbershop definitely is the place where we come and we, everybody talks and speaks whatever's going on in their life. You say stuff in here that you may not say somewhere else. Since this initiative has happened, it's being discussed probably on a daily basis. Whether we're talking about, hey man, when the last time you had your checkup, or did you go take a participate in this, and it becomes now, it's almost, it has become fashionable to be involved in your self-help.
My father actually was a victim of the colorectal cancer that eventually killed him. This is for real. It's not a game. It affected me directly because of the relationship I had with my father, and to lose him was, I miss him, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I went through. So this information that we have here, I think is very vital, and it's going to, I just hope it changed people's lives.
Wow, that was 2014. That was the beginning. And the fact that we're here right now is absolutely amazing. I want you to understand and appreciate we're in a new place, and the pandemic has taken us to a new place. So the second panel, we're going to talk about what actually happens. What is a wellness warrior? What do they actually do? And to help us on that journey, you're going to meet Dorothy Reynolds from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Michelle Lamb out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Sandra Jenkins out of Philadelphia. Bring them up on the screen. Hey, warriors, how are you doing today? Now you're seeing part of the national network, and you're going to be meeting other warriors from around the country that are part of the overall strategy that we have to transform healthcare in America. And really, it's about going hyper-local. It's about meeting people where they are. And so I'm going to begin here with Michelle on this whole issue of why clinical partners are so essential. But tell this audience, particularly my clinical partners from Maryland, who you are and why the clinical partners there in your neck of the woods are so important.
Hi, my name is Michelle Lamb. I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am the owner and operator of the Hairport Barber and Beauty Studio. And I want to thank the clinical partners, all the clinical partners, for being here tonight. This is so important. But you are important to us because this the COVID vaccine shops, clinics that we had in our barber and beauty salons, we couldn't have done it without you. We just couldn't have. And when this opportunity was presented to me, I was all on board because I had saw it prior on MSNBC, and I told my colleagues that I would love to be a part of this. And a week later, I received a phone call from our Senator Sherrod Brown's office, and they hooked me up with Closing the Health Gap, which really helped me through my clinic. It was very successful. We brought people out. I was a little nervous, but the clients and the community connected so well inside the barbershop. Even folks who said that they would never get a shot and had all these medical myths, they got vaccines at my barbershop. And so I was just so proud to see what we had created. And thanks to Dr. T and the network, I mean, it was just so on time.
And you have been right on time. And I want your clinical partners to know that all of our wellness warriors are part of a community of practice. We've been together for 3 years, honing in on what works. Now we're going to come back to you, Michelle, but I'm going to go over there to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Miss Dorothy Reynolds. Unmute yourself, Dorothy. There you go. How are you doing down there in Pine Bluffs?
I'm doing fine down here in Pine Bluff.
Oh, I got to get the S off of there, Pine Bluff. Tell this audience who you are.
I'm Dorothy Reynolds, and I'm co-owner of Elite Cuts Barbershop and Impressive Styles Beauty and Barbershop. We are a family-oriented business. We have on the female side, we can do female or male hair and children. And on the barber side, the same. And we're just busy going on about trying to help save the community.
And how long have you been busy doing that kind of work?
We have, our salon and barbershop has been open for 15 years.
All right.
This June will be 16 years.
Now, all I want you to do is think back before the pandemic and where you are now. What's the journey been like for you?
This journey has been really beautiful and strange, because before the pandemic, we were booming, going. We weren't thinking about if someone had the flu, oh, you just got the flu, drink some tea and you'll get better. And then came COVID, that once you got it, may knock you out. Now, we lost my brother.
I want you to keep talking, and I'm going to take this audience into your shop. Okay?
Okay.
So, crew, go ahead and just let the slides roll as Miss Dorothy's telling us her story. Continue.
Anyway, the mayor of our city called me and asked me if we were interested in participating in a Shots at the Shop initiative. And I told her yes, because we had lost my brother-in-law to COVID. And I was looking for a platform to advocate for him and other people with situations like him who could not protect themselves or help themselves when they were exposed to COVID-19. So given that opportunity was a blessing for me, it gave me an opportunity to not only just help my family, but our stylists and barbers, but also to help the community. And we could not have done this without the help of the mayor, who is the person in the black hat, and her staff and the doctors and nurses that came along. to help us. I took the vaccine first to show the clients and the participants that were in our shop that it's okay to take it. And so I think once I took it first, it kind of broke a little ice and eased the pain for them. We have continued with the initiative, even though we're not doing any shots right now, but we're planning to start back in July. But we have continued with everything that we were doing with the posters, making people aware, starting the conversation, having dialogue about COVID-19 and other health issues that could be related to COVID. As you can see, we had children involved.
I love it.
That were interested. The young lady in the chair is 8 years old. She was the youngest one that came.
Wow.
And, yes. And the person in the white jacket is the doctor's nurse that's helping him. She's assisting him.
Okay.
The young lady in the blue scrubs work in another salon, actually, but she's an RN and she came to help us that day.
Excellent. And I see you have balloons too.
Yes.
So you made it a festive activity.
Made it a festive activity and to let people know they can be relaxed.
Okay.
Continue to be relaxed and not to be afraid of of the activity, what was going on. And the mayor even assisted us with registering people. That's her in the chair with the two children.
Okay.
She assisted with registering the participants for the vaccinations.
I think it's really important that you found a way to get elected officials involved. And
yes.
I want this audience to know that we even had your health director on one of our shows. We'll come back to that when we open up in a little bit. Thank you so much, Miss Dorothy. Now we're going to go over to Philadelphia. Hello, Sandra Jenkins.
Hello, Dr. T.
I'm going to give you the floor and let you tell this audience a little bit about what it means to be a wellness warrior.
Absolutely. I'm Sandra Lee Jenkins, a certified community health worker, prediabetes lifestyle health coach, and hair wellness warrior and owner of Naturalist located in Cheltenham Township, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. If you're going to leave a legacy, make a mark on the world that can't be erased. My motto is healing the planet one head at a time because I'm passionate about promoting hair health and overall wellness behind a chair. And this motto, quote from Maya Angelou, inspired me so much as a hair wellness warrior advocate to aim for leaving a positive impact on the world and making a difference that lasts. So the outcome and beauty of one's hair is how, things begin with listening to the concerns of our clients, especially during COVID-19 epidemic when masking is still a preventive measure in the spread of the virus and other infectious diseases. As a stylist, I understand that exercising best practices in my profession and achieving healthy hair requires more than just great products and services. It requires a comprehensive approach that involves advocating and listening to and addressing my clients' unique needs and concerns. I'm excited over becoming a wellness warrior of Naturalist and partnering with our very own Hair Shots at the Shop, Montgomery County Immunization Coalition, Philip Jason Center, Rite Aid, Giant Pharmacy, Walmart, Wawa, and Arnett's Hair Salon to host COVID-19 vaccine clinics in our community. I was so grateful to the fact that clinical providers understood the need to venture out of their comfort zone to provide service in a unique way. Walmart and Giant served as clinical providers for the first two vaccine clinics conducted under We're All in This Together theme. I'm so pleased to share the flyers of these clinics with you. See photos of our first vaccine clinic with clinical provider Giant PharmD administering Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J vaccines. I was so grateful for their invaluable support in our vaccine clinic initiative, and I'm looking forward to continue to work together advocating to keep our community safe and healthy as possible. Here are some of our local public officials, and they were so excited to support Dr. Stephen B. Thomas's nationally recognized Shots at the Shop initiative. First, left to right, we have State Senator Art Haywood, Montgomery County Director Beth Till, Representative Grace Scott, and me. I'm so grateful again for their endorsements and look forward to continue to work with them to encourage more off-site vaccination clinics within our community and our salons. And here's a photo of Delaney Callis from Callis & Callis Barbershop. And we proudly showing off our PPE mask and COVID-19 vaccination card while keeping our clients safe and healthy. Here's the We Are All in This Together COVID-19 mitigation team. Okay, right here we have, slides of the importance for
There's
us.
your team.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Dr. T. Here, we're all in this together team, the COVID-19 mitigation team. Our goal was dedicated to upholding social distancing protocols and guidelines. Next slide. It was so important to us to educate our staff about the importance of COVID-19 vaccination and to emphasize the significance of executing best practices while working behind the chair. Rite Aid served as clinical providers for the third and fourth vaccine clinics conducted under We Care in the Chair theme. I was so pleased to share the flyers with these clinics. Here, my client Jordan, utterly amazed by the prototype of the Corsi Rosenthal air filtration unit. Again, to Dr. Stephen B. Thomas and Meg Jordan for making this possible. It's still a topic discussion in the salon right now. Here we have Rite Aid. It has served as clinical providers for our third vaccine clinic, conducted under It's Not Too Late to Get Your Flu Shot theme. I'm so pleased to share the flyers of the clinic that was open to all in our community. Here at Naturalist's former location during the third vaccine clinic, which was conducted under the theme It's Not Too Late to Get Your Flu Shot with Rite Aid, serving as clinical providers to the community. Here in the following two photos are Rite Aid clinical providers coming out of their comfort zone, again, working tirelessly to save lives and local business in our communities. Again, here's our clinical provider. Next, meet Bonnie, who received her booster and shingle shot. She was grateful for receiving her vaccines in the salon. Okay, the next slide, there's a video. That's our.
We got a tech on that, tech issue.
Okay, thank you. So here's a photo of Naturalists presenting, expressing our gratefulness, and we're so proud to be a part of Dr. Stephen B. Thomas's nationally recognized initiative, Shots at the Shop, that has earned respect from our community and clinical providers. So I will firmly say, overall, the future of health and wellness in the salon industry is about focusing on the customer and advocating tailored experiences that prioritize well-being and self-care. I'm optimistic about what the future has in store for hair wellness warriors because we truly care in the chair, Dr. T.
We truly care in the chair.
Yes, yes.
I want the partners out there to know that you're at the wellspring of creativity. This is how we applaud here on the show. We just snap them up. Great job. What creativity. I love the flyers. Notice that each location has a different flavor. That's the power of the partnership. Now we're going to open things up. We have one more panel to go and we're going to open things up, but I want each of you to give us what's the take home for the clinical partner, Ms. Dorothy, and I'll go right around.
We would just like our clinical partners to know that we thank them in our beauty and barbershops. We thank them. We could not have been as effective as we were or are had it not been for them, for the support that they gave us, for being present, for helping us with the actual activity of Shots at the Shop, advancing health literacy, the generator in Pine Bluff, which is Go Forth Pine Bluff, is coordinating that. We consider ourselves wellness centers because when the clients come there, they want to be pampered, they want to feel good and be relaxed and be informed and entrusted. And so being beauty salon owners, barbers, and stylists, we work hard at trying to make sure that our clients feel comfortable. And without you clinical partners, we could not do that. Whether you be nurses, doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, state and local officials, educators, trainers, provided materials, food, music, and dialogue in the shop, and just being there sometimes just to be involved. Again, we, and I speak for all of us wellness warriors, we thank you so much and we appreciate you, and you are so important to us.
Thank you, Miss Dorothy. Michelle, take home message.
Am I? Oh, okay.
You're on.
Okay. To the clinical partners, we can achieve health disparities together in our communities. And we want to thank you for your collaboration with the barbers and the stylists all across the United States. We really want to, and we can't do it without you.
Thank you so much. Sandra Lee, take us home on this panel.
Yes.
Take home message.
Yes, my take home is we were extremely proud to have worked with these partners, and we appreciate their commitment to the health and safety of our community. As the owner of Naturalist Hair, I recognize that without the support and collaboration of these committed relationships with these partners, these efforts would not have been possible. And I look forward to continuing the work together to increase vaccination rates and promote community health.
I can't thank you enough. Let's snap this panel. Congratulations. And as we make the transition, I want the clinical partners to know that the wellness warriors are still at work. They haven't left their post. They're still on the front line like they've always been. And as Dynamite Brown said, the stadium is full. Bring the basketball. Come on, we got work to do. And the work is saving lives. Now this next panel, and then we're going to open it up for a broad discussion. I want to get them ready. And here they're going to bring us all home here. We have Rochelle Newman from Oxon Hill, Maryland, Andre Russell, Atlanta, Georgia, with a barbershop in the Atlanta airport, and Terry Branch from Newport News, Virginia. Let's just bring them up on the stage right now. Hello, warriors.
Hi.
Hey, Rochelle.
Hey.
I'm gonna begin with Rochelle. Think about where we are right now and where you started in this journey, and tell this audience out there what sticks out for you now, 3 years and counting. And tell us who you are.
Okay. Hello, my name is Rochelle Newman. I am the owner, operator, and sole proprietor of Fit for a King Barbering Lounge located in Clinton, Maryland. And I am extremely ecstatic to be a wellness warrior. I've been involved in the hair organization, the University of Maryland Hair Organization, since about 2014, and we started with colonoscopy.
There you go.
at the University of Maryland. I remember that. And that's where we all got started. That's where I met Mike Brown and all of them. And since then, we have grown quite a bit. We're more than just your average barbers and stylists. We're wellness warriors who work hard to provide our clients and the community with the best trusted, researched information regarding our health as we possibly can. And that's really thankful to our clinical partners who we could not, absolutely not do it without. We need our clinical partners to make this happen. One of my favorite times with the Wellness Warriors is when we go out to Taunton, Maryland, where we have our big charity event out there. It's a really big clinical event.
Yeah, that's right, the African American Cultural Festival.
Yes, I love it. And we do free haircuts, the Temptations or some other really nice band be out there, and it's shots are being given out, free haircuts. It's a lot of vendors and everything, and it's really nice. It's community oriented, and I really, really enjoy it. I really enjoy that. And we stand by our motto, which is we care about more than just your hair behind our chair. Like, we care about your health. And in order for us to present you with the proper research information, we first have to take care of ourselves. So this information is not only vital to our clients in the community, it's vital to us as well, so that we can present the information. We provide clinical services that are extremely beneficial to one's health, and the focuses are mainly on and geared towards the urban communities. Being a wellness warrior has definitely taught me to take better care of myself.
Okay.
My family, my friends, my clients, and the community. Being a wellness warrior is beneficial, and health is wealth. So I'm ecstatic to be a wellness warrior, and I'm trying to get other barbers and stylists to join with us so that we can make this happen worldwide.
Well, we are on our way with that new song, Health is Wealth. I saw everybody dancing out there to that one.
Yes.
Let's get over here to Atlanta, Hotlanta. Hey, Andre.
Hey, how are you doing?
It's so good to see you.
You too. I'm glad to be here, of course. And I'd like to say real quick.
Just tell us who you are.
Andre Russell from Atlanta, Georgia. The Barbershop Atlanta at Hartsfield Airport. And a couple of malls, but still the Barbershop Atlanta. And I came along a little bit later than some of these guys, but I wanted to say that I have never been more impressed with a group of people than I have with these guys. There was no way for me not to get involved with these people after I started meeting them. So it came along, shots in the shop, and I had to get involved. We've always been involved, and we've been in business for 20 plus years, if we count the years that my boys were trying to pay their way through college, which didn't help much, but it gave them something to do.
So, Andre, when you think about where you are right now,
yes,
and where we could go, I want you to tell us where you think we could go.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question, because what I've been looking at, what we're doing is this is a continuous education that we're doing through with our Wellness Warriors, Shots at the Shop, and all the hair things that we're doing, because now we're concentrating on lupus, which is the new, well, not a new thing. Lupus has been around forever, but it gives us something else to discuss at the shop. And as we learn more, we can share more with our clients. And with me, from a management standpoint, I can drop this information on to my barbers and stylists, and they sort of like it, but it's just one of those things.
And it's also how long have you been in business?
20 plus years. And like I said, if I count my couple of sons that were cutting while they were in college, but they were screwing up their grades anyway. But at any rate, you know, we had to keep them straight. You know, I said, well, you're gonna have to donate something, and so that's where it started. And my oldest boy actually manages the shop at the airport, and he's doing a fine job. And because I've been a little bit under the weather lately, and I haven't been able to go in, but I've got cameras all over the place, so I keep a presence.
Well, listen, let me just say this. And
but this Wellness Warriors, I'm glad to be a part of this. The clinical people that I have been involved in, they've all been stand-up people showing me exactly what to do. Like I said, I came along a little bit late, and through our efforts with what we had at the mall, at the malls, and
give them the name of your clinical partner, Andre. Tell them the name, Andre. Tell them the name of your clinical partner.
With Emory, well, through Emory colleges, and we started off with about 15 to 20 cuts. Sorry. That has to keep coming out. 15 or 20 shots. But then after we did some more promoting, and I talked to some of the directors in 3 counties, I got up to a little bit over 1,500 shots.
Okay, hold on. 1,500 COVID vaccines in a barbershop. All right.
Yeah.
So now, how about 1,500 flu shots? 1,500 hypertension screens. My point is the infrastructure exists. We need the basketball.
Yeah.
They know their lane. They don't want to be giving people, oh, this is this is hypertension. That's what a doctor does. That's what a nurse does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Andre, what you're doing there in Atlanta is amazing. The range that we're getting, the wisdom that you bring to the table with your business acumen. And we're going to talk about that on the other side of introducing our last member of the panel for this segment. And then we're going to open up and give each of you a chance to close before we talk to the clinical partners and bring them in the room. But Andre, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
We love everybody.
And then we're going to go over here to Miss Terry Branch. And Terry, what's it mean to you to be a wellness warrior?
I look at I love being a wellness warrior. As a result of being a wellness warrior, to me, I don't look at it as a choice. It's a must to me. It is very important because, as you guys see on the screen, this is one of my good friends that helped me put on my event, my Shots at the Shop event, and he caught COVID. He is an entertainer. He worked for my company, Playdate Hampton Roads, but he was also a good friend of mine. And we lost him to COVID. He had to have a double lung transplant, and he came back after these images in these photos. He came back. He was straight for like 2 years, but he had to take 40 pills a day in order to stay alive, to keep his lungs from his body from rejecting the lungs. It was a very emotional moment for us when he called me one day and said, I can't breathe. And I said, can you just go to the doctor and just call me when you get there? And I couldn't go to be with him because I had just got my car to be serviced. And as a result of the pandemic, they didn't have any loaner cars. So I had to take the shuttle back. And so I was kind of stuck. And a few days later, we got a call that said that he had passed away. And I just couldn't imagine that, because this man sat at my table and I literally had the chance to see him take this medicine, these 40 pills, and I couldn't imagine myself just like, I just couldn't imagine. So it took me a while to even be able to sit at my dining room table. It took me a while to look.
Take your time. Because part of what we have to do is acknowledge the loss. And you're sharing how that has come to you personally, but there's been over 1 million people been touched.
Yeah. And I just want them to see how my friend, he had to learn how to walk again. That's what this video is. And then I mean, he had to literally learn how to walk again after he had the lung transplant, and he was doing well.
So,
and then all of a
Terry,
sudden,
let's do this, because even the fact that he had a double lung transplant, that whole area of organ and tissue donation is another area in our community that needs to be addressed. So, so let's watch this short little clip here. Team, go ahead and run that video.
You guys ready? Yeah. All right. Are we doing the machine in front of us? What machine? There you go.
The what?
Oh my God. Okay.
You don't have that. You don't have that anymore.
You have less cargo today.
Wow. And you know, Miss Terry, there's a victory there. Let's snap the courage that it took to come back, to even go through a double lung transplant, the intensity in the hospital.
And
And
so
then,
he came out and helped with this. He actually participated in this next clip, where our clinical partners were so excited. And this is why we need you guys. They were so excited to be here and help us do vaccines. And he participated in this, and he had just came out of the hospital like maybe some months before. He was a DJ, because like my other colleagues here that are wellness warriors said, we all made it a family-oriented event where people were just riding by, donating money towards the event, that just sitting out watching and enjoying, see us do something great for our community. And he was a part of that. And you'll see these clinical partners just dancing out of the salon and the DJ and we just, my business partners and the people, just, it was just such an amazing moment. And we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that. We want you guys are the experts. We need you guys. Mike put it best, but we all got these analogies, and I always say you can strike a powerful blow with a fist rather than a hand, and you guys are the thumb to that fist, and we can't close our hands without you. So we definitely need you. So I need you guys to see how my clinical partners, the Virginia Department of Health, how excited they were. And I was filming it, and the lady just ran over and hugged me, and I couldn't even continue. And you'll see that in this video.
Roll video.
Yo, man, we want to thank everybody that came out today. Yo, take some video of that. Thank you, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Yo, as our medical professionals leave the building, thank you. We love you, man. Perfect Smiles love y'all, man. The community love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Wow. Thank you. Yo, give it up for our medical professionals, man. Give it up. Come on. Yeah.
Gave me the biggest hug.
Perfect style, man. We love y'all.
Oh, let's snap that. That was so wonderful. There's tears of joy, tears of sadness, and we got victory throughout all of it. Thank you so much for that. I've said that for the clinical partners who have been also on their clinical front lines in the hospitals and feeling that pressure, that coming out into the community, into our Wellness Warrior Network, is healing for them as well. And you showed that, Miss Terry.
Yes.
You showed that in that clip.
Yeah. It was such a great moment. My girls, I had so many people volunteering, including my chapter of the NAACP. And my girls, they were literally, it started raining while we were doing it, and they were outside dancing with umbrellas, getting people to come in. And it was just so amazing, that feeling. Again, being a wellness warrior to me now is not just a choice, it's a must. And I still to this day don't even know how I became a wellness warrior. Initially, when I came on, I was like, a doctor? I was a little intimidated. I said, wait a minute, I'm not a nurse and I'm a hairstylist. But the trust in the people sitting out here, they trust us with they always say that hairdresser is a financial advisor, the counselor, all of those things, but it literally came to life with this right here, because people are trusting. They're asking, when are we going to do something else? What are we going to do? Can they help with the next event? Can they do, what are we going to do? And again, we need you guys. You're the experts. And we need your experts backing us. And that's a very important part of this initiative that we're doing. And I just love being a wellness warrior. I'm here. I'm stuck. Y'all stuck with me for life.
So I want our partners to see just the energy that comes from working at the Hell No Wall on the front lines. So Terry, I'm going to take that as your take-home message.
Yes.
Rochelle, what's the take-home message to the clinical partners?
My take-home message would be necessity. That's the word that comes to mind. Clinical partners are a vital necessity to what we're trying to achieve here as far as health is concerned. And we already have our new song, Health is Wealth. And I'm sure that the clinical partners, being in the position that they're in, understand the importance of good health. So
thank you.
Yes, that's my take home. So thank you, clinical partners. And I definitely look forward to working with you in the near future.
There we go. Hey, Andre,
hey.
Take us out. What's the take home message?
Well, I think that our take home message will be we welcome any new clinical partners, and we need to continue our education so we continue to learn and share our information with our clients. And we need a few more wellness warriors. I'm not going to lie. We need a couple of more barbershops. So, and I'm going to do my part and open up as many as I can.
Well, I want to thank you so much. And let's snap this panel down. Thank you so much, and bring up the whole group. And you know what's so interesting about this is that I want our clinical partners to know that for the most part, we've never met in person. Okay? We have built a movement. It's a silver lining of the pandemic. Zoom existed before, but now we had a purpose, not a frivolous purpose, but a purpose to save lives. And look what we've done. We need you now. We have a door to the very communities that were not hearing your message. And now they're here and they're ready. And so I'd like you to turn your cameras on out there, clinical partners, if you would. And we're going to open up the conversation and hear from you. And I see some familiar names out there. But let me start with, if you can break the ice, Russ Kujan from the Medical Society here in Maryland. I'll start at home. I'll start in the state of Maryland. Hey, Russ.
Hey, Dr. T, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Really good to see you. Just say a thumbnail about who you are.
So my name's Russ Kujan, and I'm with MedChi, the Baltimore County Medical Society, and also with the Derm Society, Maryland Derm Society. And I just want to say that I love this group. I love these meetings. I wish my meetings had this much energy and positivity. This is great. And I thank you for everyone who here, who, shots in the shop and all your work. I mean, this is great that we can help. I'm really, really glad. And we're always thinking about ways with my physicians, how we can help Dr. T and everyone here to, keep on doing what we're doing.
Well, let me give my shout out to you because you're my clinical partner. And early in the pandemic, it was physicians from the Medical Society, and some of them are still with us, Russ, Dr. Tuesday Cook, Dr. Carol Ritter. And I think you I think I want you to let the whole organization know that we're still here. And now we got the stadium full so that we can be the model right here in the state of Maryland. The floor is open. Floor is open. You can use the little hand signal reaction, or you can just speak. The floor is open for our visitors, our clinical partners. But I do see names. Susan, I see you have turned your mic off.
Suzanne.
Suzanne, let me hear you pronounce it.
My name is Suzanne Tierney. I am the CEO of the Lupus Foundation of America here in the state of Ohio. And I have lupus, and I know someone, it was funny what God puts in front of you when he wants to. I've actually been working on a couple grants to do exactly what you folks are doing, thinking that I was going to have to train people to do it. I was actually borrowing the idea from the Office of Minority Health and Disparities at the Arkansas Department of Health, who have done this back in 2013. I borrowed their data and wrote a couple grants. They're not funded yet, but I recognize the value. I've been working with the Lupus Foundation for over 40 years, and I have failed miserably at minority outreach, although not because I haven't tried. And I even have an outreach coordinator. And before I end my tenure, okay, I really want to make an impact on the minority community. I work closely with the Ohio Minority Department of Health here in the state of Ohio. We have a line item for lupus. And my question, first of all, kudos to all of you. During the worst of times, and I know the challenge of COVID, we pivoted to reach those most in need during a horrible time. I know my niece as well was on that respirator, and my dad died 98 of COVID, and I lost 32 family and friends. So the tragedy is huge. The pain is great for all of us. So, I have my sympathy. But I would like some more information. I think the idea is fabulous. We actually did this on a smaller version before COVID, but I'm curious to know, and I don't know if I have any other lupus partners on here or not, but I am, I don't know how much y'all know about lupus.
Well, let me say this. You said that power is greater than any one of us sometimes put things in front of you.
Yes.
Well, you're in the right place.
Oh, good.
Okay. And I'm going to have Meg drop our lupus show in the chat for you. We did an entire 90 minutes on lupus.
Oh.
And one of the things that we highlighted is the role that barbers and stylists play in seeing some of those early symptoms, even before the person does. And so I'm inviting you into our family because the Lupus Foundation is so important. And as a result of just doing that show, now the barbers are saying they're meeting guys who have lupus.
Yes.
It's hidden. Yeah. We need to bring it out in a trusted space of our barbershops and salons, and not just any barbershop and salon, in our hair network. All of you can also use the chat to drop questions in. I see Meg Jordan. Go ahead, Meg.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to mention that, yes, so we have a wellness warrior representing Ohio, Miss Michelle, and we have business cards for all the wellness warriors in the chat. You can reach out to them directly, and I'm also putting my email in the chat so that you can loop us in, because we are working on lupus throughout the rest of the calendar year. The lupus show that I put in the chat was our very first training, and they've done more.
And I think when you see that, Suzanne, I want your review, because I think it's one of the best shows we've ever done.
Well, I'll let you know, because to me, it's very important that people get the latest, most accurate information there's about lupus, because there's so many misnomers, okay? And as a patient myself, I was misdiagnosed for 19 years.
Yes.
But I'm curious as to what support are you looking for? And I know we have this wonderful lady in Cincinnati, and that is my service area. How do we have more of you? How do we build more of you? What type of funding do you need? What do you need from us? And not only, I don't know if anybody else is on here, Lupus Foundation.
let me just say, you just throwing all kind of blessings all over this Hollywood square. Because it's yes, yes, yes. You know what our limitation is? First, it was our imagination. You see where we are. We overcame that.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's about the kind of partnership that comes from the clinical partners. They've retreated to some degree as the pandemic has retreated in terms of the surge. I understand that. It's hard to, so we want you to know we understand the difficulty of coming back out to the pop-ups. We get that. We just want you to know we're still here. Okay. So let's, we're now connected.
So
we're now
if I can add
Go ahead,
very specifically. So as I mentioned, we do education.
Yes.
So connection to clinical partners is really to give them opportunities to grow as community health workers. But also, if anybody, if any of the Wellness Warriors wants to chime in about what having a doctor means in your shop. I know, Katrina, you want to pursue having a physician in your shop for lupus. Could you explain what you would be looking for through a clinical connection?
Sure. So I wanted to host a lupus project within my salon. And one of the reasons I wanted to host one and have a medical professional there was to answer some of the questions that our lupus clients may have, far as early detection.
Are we all froze?
I can't. You froze up a little bit. Katrina?
Oh, did I freeze up?
Yeah, not totally. Just
okay.
do your closing. Your last set.
I just said I would love to have a clinical partner within our salon space when we host our lupus project, because there are unanswered questions. Some of them don't know what doctors to go to. They don't have the resources to see certain doctors, and they don't have the access to certain information. So I would love to have a clinical partner on staff when we do our lupus project in the month of May.
This floor is still open. Sandra Jenkins, you've opened up your microphone. You were part of that lupus show we did.
Yes, yes, yeah. That was one quite an amazing show, and I would like to share with you, Mrs. Tierney, that I'm also a lupus warrior, so I can totally understand and relate to the importance of being able to share this information with the public in general. There may be people that will come to the salon and may want to, be a little bit more informed because of the fact that they have some of the side effects or maybe physical symptoms of lupus. So being able to have that information where they can be a part of a clinical trial, just for the fact that getting that information in a salon would be absolutely essential in our business.
So these are issues that were there before COVID, and, people working on different aspects of it. COVID brought us all together to work together. Let's stay together. That's the point. We started with Mike Brown around colorectal cancer screening. And Mike, now this conversation around lupus, you're dealing with mostly men in your shop. Is it relevant? Is it relevant?
Absolutely, Dr. T. Just to be open and honest with the clinical partners here, any disparity that we challenge, it would be awesome to have a doctor come in to talk about that disparity that we're challenging. It could be lupus, it could be diabetes, it could be whatever we're challenging. Just to have somebody from a clinical partner to be able to have somebody to strategize with and have them there, because at the end of the day, I'm their barber. I can't give them the diagnosis. I mean, I can say that, you're losing hair, you need to go and get something checked, or if we had charts around the barbershop saying like, these are the signs of pre-diabetes, if this is happening, if you look like this, these type of charts connect the questions that start the conversation, so we can direct them to you guys. And while we were doing the disparities, if we could just have a clinical partner to come in that's just speaking on that disparity while our clients have questions, and they don't leave me to answer them, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to say you need to get a fade or something. I can give them a haircut, not about the initial disparity that we're talking. So just to have you guys on our team, maybe to come through on a Saturday or any day that's available for you guys, and we can just set it up for the community to hear from you guys directly. And we being there as a trusted liaison, I think the message gets through, it gets repeated to their families, and that's how we spread and change these numbers of people not wanting to participate in their health.
I do need to share a very important issue, though. We have a tremendous shortage of rheumatologists, okay? And getting a physician out is a monumental task. So your chances is probably with the nurse educator. And here in Ohio, we have patient navigators, and we trained 50 community health workers. And this year we're doing trainings. If anybody wants to do training for community health workers, the Lupus Foundation will offer that. In Ohio, I'm working on a grant right now with Metro on doing certificates, CEUs for them. So, you know, I just want you to know, getting a doctor, a rheumatologist there is a huge task. But,
yeah.
You know, I just want you to know.
Let me just say this. This is why I can't wait for you to see the show, because we had a rheumatologist on who told us the very story you're describing right now and why she even became a rheumatologist. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be in this together. This is the beginning, not an end. And I see, and we you have all the cards. And what we're going to do to help the clinical partners is that we're going to be your one-stop shop. Okay, so you are able now to connect through the Maryland Center for Health Equity to the infrastructure that gives you access to the hair network, where our barbers and stylists are part of a learning community where we can actually improve the infrastructure to deliver information. Hey, we got a new door for healthcare. It just happens to have barber poles. But when you go through that door, you want to be able to talk to a rheumatologist directly, or just like we are right now in Zoom. So let me, I'm going to move around just a little bit. I see Katrina, and let's use the hand reaction. That will make sure I get in. And I want to make sure any clinical partners out there who haven't been able to share their reflections do so. Katrina?
I had one question for Ms. Susan. Susan, the Certified Community Health Worker certification, is that nationwide, or is that just for the state of Ohio?
Currently, you know, every state is different. So the one I'm working on right now is for the state of Ohio, but I work with a network, and I know that the other chapters in the national organization, they're doing it, but they're not certifying them because every state is different. So ours is for the state of Ohio, but we do a nationwide community health work training that is not certified.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the training is great. Sandra Lee went ahead and got trained there in Pennsylvania. She's a certified community health worker. So that's what we do with our warriors. We put them on the path towards getting certified as community health workers based on their local jurisdictions. And then we also, when resources are available, literally they're going through a cohort is going through training right now as certified lifestyle coaches for the diabetes prevention program. We're paying for their tuition. That's really going to be a demonstration of moving the needle. So in the hair network, Health Advocates in Reach and Research, the barbers and stylists are trained in ways that make them really good partners with the clinical partners. For many of the physicians, they would sure love to have patients that come to them as partners. Floor is open. Floor is open for anyone we haven't heard.
We have Miss Michelle, and we also then have a question in the chat. Miss Michelle?
Miss Michelle?
Yes, Miss Susan. Hello, how are you? I'm the lady from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I
will be putting you on direct dial.
Yeah, I would love that. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I am quite interested, and thank you so much for being here. And
wow, we're making connections.
On what we're working on right now. We're all eager to learn more about lupus. And so this is going to be a dynamic duo. How about that?
I think that's wonderful, but I do want to add about the men. The men, that's a whole nother story because it's different than women. But remember, I said this to you from 2 years from now. Lupus, it's just not about lupus. You don't just get lupus. It's like a spectrum of diseases, and you get multiple. You get the hypertension, you get the diabetes, you can get the cancer. So it's so much more than just lupus when you ask us to come and educate you, because a lupus patient could have 6 or 7 other diseases.
You could not be in a better place. You could not be in a better place because they bring all those things to the barber salon chair too. Rochelle, you have your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to, excuse me, make a statement regarding the lupus. I just heard on the radio this morning on my way to work that Toni Braxton has lupus, and she kept feeling some kind of way, and she ignored the feeling for quite some time. And she had to end up going into the hospital and getting some sort of heart transplant. So when Susan said that it's not just about lupus, they have other ailments as well. That right there had me thinking today about our webinar, even though I know that it wasn't geared around lupus. Well, I mean, you know, it's geared around everything. This is the webinar, but it had me thinking that why our clinical partners are really so vital. Like, I have a couple of clients who have experienced lupus or have lost loved ones to lupus. And not just with lupus, like with anything, guys, we are not ones that like to go to the doctor all the time because we don't want to know the diagnosis or we're afraid of it. But fear is false evidence appearing real. We're going to have to go to the doctor. When we start feeling some kind of way, go get checked out. Health is wealth.
Thank you, Rochelle.
You're welcome.
You know, they say, oh, you're talking to the choir, but most good choirs practice. And that's what we're doing right here. I didn't even know that we would have a lupus melody come out of this. And look at it, and look how we hit the ball in the park. You threw a ball in the court, and we got folk who know how to handle it. I can't wait, Suzanne, for you to see the show and give us your feedback. I think we have a new way of communicating this kind of information. I see some Hollywood squares that I get a sense that they just can't wait to say something, but they haven't opened up their microphone. So I'm gonna call on Donna.
Hi, it's great. I'm so glad we met you at the
tell us
last week.
Tell us who you are.
Donna Rice. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Diabetes Sisters, and in a new role since one of our CEO kind of stepped into a position at the National Minority Quality Forum, and been working in diabetes my entire career, and really looking at working in population health in high-risk communities. Really, how do we get the messages out? And I love the work you're doing. I'm just like thrilled to be here and just to learn all of these things. And I just see so much opportunity because we have a virtual platform where we have educational materials and more of that ongoing support if people are diagnosed with diabetes. But so, what strikes me when you talk about lupus, we have so many treatments for diabetes and there's been so much there, but yet it's not getting better, right? And I think it's because we haven't hit the ground and it's really grassroots. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that the community is where it's happening. So I just say kudos to all of your work. I love every bit of it. And I've been enjoying the conversation. I have a ton of questions in my head too, and would love to spend some time with you, Dr. Thomas, as well. Talking about maybe ways to collaborate and to help you and help all of the wellness warriors and how do we get more of them. So
absolutely. Thank you so much. I want to just mention that Dynamite Brown was on the panel at the National Minority Quality Forum annual meeting. Let's give some snaps to him. He represented. It wasn't somebody talking about the barbers. It was the barber himself.
my bro.
There you go. And since I mentioned the National Minority Equality Forum, we have Leslie down there in the corner. Hey, Leslie. In fact, our lupus work is directly related to support and collaboration with the National Minority Equality Forum. Hey, Leslie, you want to just give us a thumbnail who you are and what your reflections are from tonight?
Hi, my name's Leslie. I'm the QIE project manager for the National Minority Equality Forum and SHC, and I have the great privilege of working very closely with the Wellness Warriors, Meg and Dr. T. We meet every week, and it's definitely one of my favorite meetings of the week. But I think something that is really important for me, especially to take away from this meeting and working in minoritized communities, is you not only need to have the correct message, but you need to have the correct messengers. And I think that's what the Wellness Warriors do.
Wow, that's a real lesson there. You have to have the right message and the right messenger. Very good. I can't believe how time has flown. We've got 2 minutes. It's 8:28. I'm looking over here and I want to know, Meg, do you think we could pull a word cloud out of this group?
We have 2 minutes, Dr. T, and we have a question in the chat that I want to get to before we end tonight.
Let's do that.
10 minutes ago. So Ashley, if you could unmute yourself and kind of elaborate on your question.
Ashley Netter.
Yeah.
Well, you want to read it for her?
Yeah, I can. So as community health workers, do you direct or identify social determinants of health interventions or connect people to services as well?
Hi, I'm sorry, I wasn't in a quiet place. I'm available now. So primarily what my question is centered towards is particularly, I know we're supposed to give a thumbnail, so I'll be really quick, but I am a vice president of health equity with Centene, one of the managed care organizations. And our primary focus in the space of health equity is to have community partners such as you all, but also in addressing health equity, social determinants of health also contribute to health disparities, right? And so what my question is, particularly around our community health workers, is we're trying to see if there's a bridge to connecting them to any type of services related to that from, you know, especially with barbers and hairstylists. A lot of times in those conversations, you may have a dialogue about managing stress and how that can contribute to blood pressure. So, you know, if there's an opportunity to connect a service from a social determinant of health perspective, are you guys, you know, geared or have programming around that where we're basically addressing a medical intervention, but also being able to bridge that to a social determinant of health in some capacity? I know you guys mentioned about education, but also thinking beyond that, you know, if there are stressors, if it's an issue of keeping the lights on, things like that, you know, are you guys, you know, have a network or programming around connecting in that respect as well?
Boy, what a song you have sung. And the answer is yes, all the way around.
Yes.
These things are in their nascent state. They're fragile. And this is why the clinical partners and bringing resources to the front line is so important. We're doing an event this Saturday with support from one of the NIH agencies to actually measure stress through hair samples. Did you know you could do that? Okay, we can do that and help people get a sense of how much stress they're under as a community. So I'm hoping, Ashley, that you stay with us. You've convinced me that this is a beginning, not an end. And I'm going to take the prerogative of a moderator and say we're going to go a little bit over. We're at 8:32. We have some hands up in the corner. Thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you. That was so important. I'll go to Carla Foster.
Hello there, Dr. T. This is
Hi.
Carla from H-Step back in the day. How's your niece? So, hello everyone. My name is Carla Booten Foster. I am a clinician and researcher at SUNY Downstate. And my current role at Downstate is the associate dean for diversity and education research. So one of the things that I do, and this is to go back to the last question, is I work with students to instruct them on health equity and structural racism. And my goal is to really integrate that in the medical curriculum. So I am just, thank you so much for sending me the email, Meg. And this is really important because I think of the next generation of physician, they need to hear from our community partners and our community leaders and our community experts, because everything that they learn is not always in the medical school, honestly, and it needs to be out in the community. So I look forward to learning more about this network of experts, really of health experts, to help educate the next generation of physicians to be anti-racist structural competency practitioners.
I am telling you, it is so good to reconnect. We haven't seen each other in Hollywood Squares, but Carla, thank you for joining this group tonight. Russ, you've got the floor. There you go.
Thank you, Dr. T. So, this is great. So many connections here, so many things. I just wanted to say, in regards to what Ashley was saying, and Dr. T knows about our grants department at the state medical society, and we've worked with Center for Healthy Maryland, or Center for Health Equity. We just received a grant, and now this is to teach or to have physicians talk about social determinants of health and make those connections to services within the community. So our goal is to get everyone in Maryland, every doctor's office, every primary care office, asking these questions and connecting patients with those interventions. I think it's something that if we can do it in the doctor's offices, we can certainly do it in the barbershops. And I'll tell you, Dr. T, with Dr. Ritter and I, Carol, we haven't talked a little bit. I saw her over the weekend. We're going to get together. So we are talking about this. We're talking about, how we can coordinate with you and the center. So, this is in our minds, in our society's mind. So just want to, haven't talked in a couple months. It's been a month and a half. So we're here. Yeah.
It's like music as we get ready to close out. I want the audience to know this was a love letter to our clinical partners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They on the front line literally saw people's lives change. And this is how we do it on the show. We snap it. Come on, Donna Rice, get some snaps in there. I should get a photo of that one. And you see the energy they bring. You need that. In fact, I think it could be healing for the medical professionals to come into these spaces. And so I want to thank the team behind the scenes, Meg Jordan wave there and Maggie Daly. Thank you so much for making this smooth operation. And I want the audience to know that this entire workshop tonight was organized by the Wellness Warriors themselves. They did some heavy lifting. That's right. Let's snap the Wellness Warriors. They went through iterations. They practiced. I am so very proud of all of you. And I think that we are right now at the inauguration of a new way of doing healthcare, a new training platform for healthcare professionals who want to address the social determinants. And maybe in our little way, we can change the system. Let's give it a try. So with that, we're going to close out. We're going to let you know how to stay in touch with us. Go ahead and pull up the newsletter and roll The Health is Wealth, our new song. And if it makes your feet move, we might be doing a music video behind this. Take it away, Maggie.
Before the music starts. So I've put my email in the chat, and I will be reaching back out to you to coordinate with the Wellness Warriors. So thank you so much again for attending.
We'll be your one-stop shop. Roll it, Maggie. Just put your phone there to that QR code, and that will get you to our newsletter. It is a wonderful newsletter that brings to you all the news from the front lines. And that's managed by Maggie Daly. She does a wonderful job putting all our messages together. And we're going to take some clips from this show tonight to use in our newsletter. Let it roll, Maggie.
Hair advocates and reach and research, featuring wellness warriors. If you want to live a long, prosperous life, you must remember these two phrases.
This is an original. Original. Thank you, Terry. You guys can unmute yourself.
You're welcome.
Unmute yourselves.
Thank you, clinical partners. Thank you, clinical partners.
Thank you, wellness warriors.
Hey, Russ,
you, everyone.
This is exactly what your physicians need, Russell.
Yes.
Let me just say, Fresh Fry, his daughter, the barber, they went into a studio and they wrote and produced this song.
That's great.
Okay?
Gonna take care of your life.
Energy.
And Russell needs one of these? Oh my God.
Gotta take care of your health.
I love it. I love it.
Imagine the music video that goes with it.
How we gonna get this?
To see the things that I can
Get the newsletter.
To let her know about
Of the music. Are we gonna get the copy of the music?
Absolutely. Play it in the shop.
There you go.
Dynamite. We got to come up with a whole new dance.
We're going to get it done.
Hey, Donna, don't they do that thing called the TikTok?
With our wellness warrior shirts on.
It might be a good idea to get a copy of our newsletter up there.
Manage work. Pick up some fruit, put down the Newports.
And Donna, take care of yourself. That is key.
It's all up to you, not no one else. Now hear me now, not health as well.
Health as well.
Major here to help. Major here to help.
Here to help. Okay, Fred. This is the other Fry.
Myself, and you can never neglect yourself. Money can never buy your health. Money can never buy you time.
When it comes to health,
I hope I did good inspiration for you warriors.
Don't stress and live your life.
we're so pro-life.
This little girl is just so cute. 9 years old. The innocence comes through. Now here come Daddy. Take us home.
If you look at the numbers, we down before our time, much earlier. It's very important to get the annual checkup, all vaccines, and don't play with our health. Educate ourselves before we make decisions regarding our health. It's a big difference between knowing and not knowing. Wellness warriors.
When you know better, you do better.
There you go. Clinical partners, help us. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
I love it.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.